May the Most High bless you and keep you, Israel. Shabbat Shalom. If it is still Shabbat by the time you see this, Shabbat might be over. You might be in class right now, or you might be at convocation, which you should be. As soon as I have services set back up, that's exactly what I'll be doing as well. But today, I just wanted to greet you with Shabbat Shalom and to talk to you very briefly about something I mentioned earlier in last week. Actually, it was earlier this week. Something called the Hebrew Roots Movement. And it's not a new movement. It's been rebranded several times. This is something that comes from European doctrine that goes all the way back to the Greco-Roman Empire. Okay, it's basically the European teaching that the Most High's chosen people, Yisrael, are not necessarily cast away, but that they're no longer his chosen per se, and that he is now dealing with all nations. Okay, so this is not an awakening of Hebrew peoples that are saying, okay, I came to understand that I'm an actual Hebrew. The Hebrew Roots Movement is the peoples of the nations, the Gentiles. It's not a dirty word. You can say it. It means nations. That the nations, having increased in technical knowledge of the scriptures, because let's face it, now we're in a technological age. Pastors don't really get away, except in the Negro community, the Puerto Rican community, the Dominican community, and our communities, they get away with dumbing things down. But all over the rest of the world, they're like, what does this mean? And they better get a straight answer, or they're pulling out by the millions. So in order to maintain their millions, now they're saying, yes, the Hebrew means this, the Greek means that, so that, yes, this must mean this or this must mean that. And so what's happening is they're acknowledging the Hebrew meanings behind what the Most High gave to Israel. They're acknowledging the feast days that the Most High gave to Israel. So it seems to a lot of people that, they're waking up, they're doing the right thing. But what you don't understand is the reason why they're acknowledging these things. Because they believe that the Japhetic people, who they don't think of the Japhetic people, they think that they are the Hebrews. They believe that it is going to be them over there in Israel right now that will build the next temple and usher in the Messianic age. Okay, and they believe that their part to play in that, as the other nations, is to be included in that new kingdom according to the law, statutes, and commandments given to the Hebrews. So in other words, the nations are going to get together in their mind anyway, ideologically, with the Jews in the state of Israel, and they're going to become the residents of the promised prophesied kingdom. Okay, grafted in, so to speak, as Paul put it. So these are all things that are built off of gross misinterpretations of the scriptures, not only the New Testament, but the prophecies in the Tanakh, which is called the Old Testament. By them, by the way, they made up these titles new and old when it served them. They needed to make a separation so that they could graft themselves in. Okay? But the point of all of this is for you to understand that this has nothing to do with the prophesied awakening of the children of Israel at all. If anything, this is kind of to send a flood out to drown us, to dilute us, to wash us away with the movement that they're dealing with. Because remember, every religion that they have, it numbers in the multi-millions in multiple countries very quickly. But they all have one common denominator, that they think the other guy is actually us. It's always built on that. He's always going to be the Disney prince to them, and they're always going to be giving their daughters to become his princess, no matter what nation their daughters happen to be from. Okay? All nations are following him. Israel, the Most High, is indeed going to make you jealous with a people that is not a people. This guy has not admitted what people he is for as long as you can remember. He's called himself everything. We're the Russians, we're the Greeks, we're the Romans, we're the Germans. He has all these different names, and None of those names are coming from the names that the Most High gave all the nations in the Tanakh. Okay, because he's hiding himself among the nations. You know, like Adam hid amongst the trees of the garden, he's hiding himself. He knows he's in trouble. So what he's been doing is he's been, generation after generation, taking an inheritance for himself from out of the world. Okay, no, the Greeks and the Romans are not the same people. That's not, anybody, I know how people listen, they kind of hone in on things and get things confused. Not at all. Okay, the Greeks, Yavan, the sons of Javan, Japhetic people, those are the ones pretending to be who? The Jews. Okay, the Germanic peoples, the Romans, and people don't understand this, the Romans transferred their empire into something called the Holy Roman Empire of Germania. Okay, and they're the ones that took over all of Europe, except for Russia, which belonged to the sons of Yahweh. Okay, we can go over these in lessons at another time. The topic right now is the Hebrew roots movement. Okay, when they say Hebrew, they're not talking about Hebrew people. They're talking about Hebrew language and Hebrew teachings. Just so you can get clear on that. That they're taking that unto themselves and shunning Catholicism. It is an anti-Roman Catholicism movement. That is all it really is. These people are not trying to get down with us. They're not trying to help us do anything. If anything, they're trying to invalidate us. They're trying to help another people have the kingdom. And they're going by prophecies too, where it says that Jerusalem shall be compassed about by armies. Okay, they believe that it is them with the Israelis that are going to be compassed about by the rest of the nations, and the Most High is going to destroy them. But a remnant out of every nation that join themselves unto the Israelis are the ones that's going to be in the kingdom. Just to let you know how far out and twisted their interpretation of the prophecy is. Okay, but it's not just that. We do the same things with prophecy. Everybody puts themselves in as the one who is going to benefit from the prophecy. Oh, I'm going to kill 2/3 of Israel. How you know you're not going to be one of the 2/3? Because of what you believe? Because of what your teacher is teaching you? Judgment belongs to the Most High. And you know that we are going to be judged based on far more than what we believe or what we teach. Okay? What about what we do? Oh, now everybody's quiet now. What about what we do? We say we sin all the time, but of course that's not a part of our teachings. Okay? My sin, hey, I owe somebody something. Or my sin was I spoke to a person the wrong way. Okay? But if my sins are, you know what, I murdered people or I caused people to be murdered. If my sins are I'm doing abominations when nobody's looking, you think you're going to kill 2/3 of anybody? You're going to be on the other side of that. Repentance is what's appointed to Israel. And what's happening is everybody is so anxious to spread the good news, the new gospel that the children of Israel are waking up, and to shake their fist at the man who's pretending to be us, that the Most High gets left on the back burner. All praise is due to the Most High. All our love is due to the Most High. Our love begins with the Most High. Okay? Or we can drop out of that mode and give him thanks and praise and honor, and then think we can just flip off into another mode and act like a bunch of demons in the name of a prophetic agenda. We can't do that. These Shabbats, when we separate ourselves from everything else we've been doing during the week and focus on the Most High, is so that we can give ourselves an opportunity to cleanse and rejuvenate and walk into the week in that spirit. That means that if you don't have that spirit as you move through the week, something took it from you, or you willingly parted yourself from it. Okay, that's got to stop. That's got to stop. Now, I was in a discussion with people, and we were talking about, and they were Hebrews, and we were talking, as far as I know, and we were talking about how the other nations speak of their gods, how much honor the Sunni Muslim gives to his God. May his name be praised forever, and all this, that, and the other. And they're not doing it for you. They have these conversations with each other. That's how they feel about their God. Every nation feels that way about their God. If their God is an idol, a statue, Man, they'll stack money up under the statue and put on their best clothes and march through the street blowing trumpets like a bunch of madmen for a statue. Okay, Yisrael don't have any of this celebration for the Most High that makes it through the week with us. Okay, when it's feast time, we go and close ourselves in places. Half the time, the nations don't even know that we worship in the Most High or that this was a feast day. We're so on the defensive. We hide these. Forget it. We don't wear fringes by and large. You know, we use doctrines of don't be a Jew outwardly. We're not Jews, number one. Number two, what are you to anyone else but outward? When it says your Most High is going to judge you by your works, is it talking about the inward works of your thoughts? If you're a light that shines before men, is it talking about a hidden flashlight inside you? So let's not play games with that. All right? This is us 24/7 every day. In your home, put them on your pajamas. It says on your garments. It goes on your garments. You don't have a mode where your garments don't have this. You don't have a place where your garments don't have this. And the reason that we're not doing this is because we are still hiding. And it's just an indicator of how much we're hiding. We're hiding emotionally too. That's why we're not in praise of the Most High all week when we speak. When we speak to each other, we want to impress each other with that. But what happens when you speak to your coworker? Or you speak to the guy at the store? Hey, you're in a good mood. Yeah. Toda Yah. All praises to the Most High. I'm in a good mood because the Most High is good. He woke me up. The same things that we say to each other. You get around everybody else, you tight-lipped. You're tight. Why? Because you're not free. You're engaging in information. There's so much more in our scriptures than information. First of all, that's our family in the scriptures. Not just, our forefathers, our ancestors. That's our family. Okay? They had children. Their children had children, as families do. That's our family. If there's a family reunion, they would be the people at it if they were alive. So you're reading about your family. See, you got to come alive, man. We are really dry bones. Our bones are very dry. All right? The Spirit is supposed to moisten us and make us into living people. You're reading about your family. And it's long lost information about your family. You're supposed to be tearing up over this. Not deciding which one of them you like the best or in your conversation. Yeah, see, Israel is wicked. That's why we got into captivity. You don't talk about your family like that. Ain't nothing in the scriptures that tell you to talk about your family like that unless you pray into the Most High. That's the only place you see the people in the scriptures is if they're dealing with the Most High, then they speak bad about Israel. Okay, to confess their sins before the Most High and the sins of their fathers. Or if the Most High sent a prophet to tell Israel how wicked Israel has been. But it's a family situation. We're not supposed to be running around talking about, our fathers were wicked. And this, you don't even know your fathers. Why don't you try studying and reading about them? Okay, wickedness is mentioned. Show me how many of them in there were actually doing it. Because somebody was doing the will of the Most High, else the people would have been gone a long time ago. The scriptures don't even say all of our people were wicked and that's why we went into captivity. Some of y'all got the wrong teachers and they're not pointing this out to you. It wasn't that all of our people were wicked. Okay? It was that our leadership wasn't exercising everything in the covenant. The covenant was made for us to be redeemed from wickedness. Okay? Some things, the redemption was to put you behind the death, granted. But other things were not. But when the leadership turned around and said, I'll take a bribe, instead of having you do what you need to do to get right with the Most High, that is the breaking of the covenant. Because the covenant included sin and redemption. So the sin could not have been the breaking of the covenant. It is the refusing of the repentance, doing the commanded works. You know the stuff that y'all talk bad about now. Oh, they were just sacrificing animals because the Most High told them to. See, we need you plugged back into the Most High so that you don't continue to move. The nations gave you these scriptures exactly the way they gave them to you for a reason. So that when you read things like obedience is better than sacrifice, or the Most High desires not sacrifice, that you will remove it out of its original context and deal with it with the mind that they trained you and programmed you with. Because the original context of that was the prophet telling King Shaul that The Most High didn't want these beasts saved alive. They were supposed to be dead. And it was better that you had obeyed that than to try and sacrifice those beasts to the Most High. He wasn't talking about sacrifice in general. But because your minds have been programmed by a religious dogma, even though you don't know it's religious dogma, because you're reading it, you don't realize it's been presented to you in a dogmatic fashion. When they translated these scriptures out of the Hebrew, they didn't just do that. They said, let's order the books, let's change the phrases. Look at the preface on the King James Version Bible. It said, we're not tied to a uniformity of words or phraseology at all. We got the understanding and we translate this according to the spirit of wisdom given us. That was the European that said that. And everything that he put in there and the way he translated it, when you go back into Hebrew, you realize, wait a minute, that does not have to be the context that it was in. So now you start getting your context how? By reading the whole book and realizing, of course, the Most High desired sacrifice. That's why he commanded us. He's not confused. He desired sacrifice. And disobedience was not the only reason for sacrifice. It wasn't even the primary reason. The daily sacrifice was not for sin. The continual burnt offering was not for sin. What about that? Oh, they're not speaking about that. See, I want to be able to teach you. But by the same token, you got to want to learn. You don't want the quick and dirty so that you can just say that to somebody else. I don't have that for you. There's plenty of street videos that give that for you. When we went into class, we taught. People learned. But people didn't want to stick with it. Okay? So now we're at the point now where I'm going to start just kicking out an audio. You can have it forever. Listen to it. Don't listen to it. That's up to you. Okay? But I'm not going to die with all of this in me. It's a 25-year road. And I've been around some of the best teachers that I've seen in Yisrael. Just being around Masharet, Arya Ben Gad, just that alone opened up universes of information so that you can understand. Okay? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for us to grow in this knowledge, the knowledge of our family, the knowledge of the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand what I'm saying? I've been privileged to be around men like Kohen Azrael Ben Lewi, okay, to be around men like Yehoseph. These are men that are in this Torah and raising their families that way. Real life, the walk. You understand? So these teachings, these are for you to have a level of understanding to make you wise, not to make you glib, not to make you be able to cut people or tell people this or tell people that. But for you to actually be able to plant and grow. Plant and grow upright things where the Most High gave us to so that we can increase. This Shabbat, this is on my mind. All right? Most High willing, I will have it together because I don't blame anybody else. I have to have it together in order to be able to give this to people. And I know people are going to come for it. All right? Simple and plain. In the meantime, the classes that you're going to, get everything you can get out of them, because it's important to get a foundation and to understand what's being taught in Israel. And hopefully I'll be a refiner of those teachings by the time we get back together. But in the meantime, may the Most High bless you and keep you, make his face to shine upon you, lift his countenance upon you, and grant you peace. Pray for the elder Moreh, that he can have it together and have it ready. All right, we want to shine this summer. You know how we do. Okay, we want to do that out there now. And I'm not talking street corners. I'm talking out there in the earth that the Most High made. We want our families to stop hiding. Okay, we're not going to become a circus, and we're not going to entertain the people around about us. But we need to be engaged in each other in the Most High, so we can stop thinking about them. It's time to stop thinking about them. They ain't thinking about us. Turn those TVs off. Stop watching them. Stop letting them define reality for you. You don't want your little girls to grow up and put hair weaves in their head? They're watching it on TV. Everybody be clapping for that one. That's what they're going to want to emulate, not what you're telling them. The talk is not enough. The education is not for us to talk. I'm talking because I'm a teacher, but the education is not for us to talk. It's for us to do. Okay? The law, statutes, commandments, so we can perform the works. The Psalms, so that we can regulate our emotionality. The Proverbs, so that we can understand that every action has an equal and opposite reaction according to what the Most High said. not according to what they're saying out there. Okay? And the prophecies, of course, is for what? For us as a nation to counsel it and be ready on. It's not for you to use for your personal agendas. So your camp can get people to gravitate to this prophecy and let's flee to this place or that place. Or so your camp can gravitate to this prophecy and say, let's call the Most High something else, and all these different divisions that you create using prophecy. Okay, the Most High didn't call the children of Israel together in prophecy. He called the children of Yisrael together in a covenant of laws, statutes, and commandments and judgments to live by. All right, the prophecies came to who? Read those scriptures. They came to the leaders of Yisrael so that they could direct the nation which way to go. All right? You don't have to worry about that now. The Most High scattered us into captivity. Any direction that somebody's giving you to go is nonsensical unless they're saying the Most High have sent unto them by his servants in a vision or in a dream. He said that's how he talks to the prophets. If they're not able to tell you that the Most High came to them with that, and then you got to watch and see if what they talk about come to pass. There's no escaping out of that. All right, come on now, let's sober up. Let's go. Let's get ready. It's coming. All right, you know where I'm at. And don't just look for me. Let people know. I count you all slack on that. You know, I got people telling me, hey, we like the teachers. We understand where you're coming from. We want you to be more consistent. We want you to, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do my part. But I need you to do your part as well. If it's true to you, why ain't it true to somebody else? Okay? Bring people. Have them sit down and watch the videos on YouTube. Listen, the Son of God video alone, everybody you know, you should be showing them that video on YouTube. Because this is information that none of y'all are talking about, messianic or non-messianic. And it's information that you need to consider so that you can get the right context on what you are learning, teaching, and believing. Okay, so you can get it the way the Most High said. The Most High shows us what that title is. And it's not what people think it is. But see, you don't want that because you still want religion. You think I'm trying to take away your connection to get all the names right. Yahusha, Yehoshua, Yeshua, Yahushua. I'm not trying to take away your connections to that, but you're not going to sit there and be drunk and be talking about it. No. This video will sober you up. Go check out Son of God. I'm going to post it again today. Share it. Check it out. Get back to me. Ask questions about it. Challenge it. Engage. Okay, don't ignore information. At least not the information I'm bringing, because I'm telling you, you're going to look back one day, if you're fortunate enough to look back one day and say, oh, he said it. We just didn't want to deal with it. Check it out. May the Most High bless you and keep you once again, Israel. Hallelujah, I'm happy to see you. Yes, when I say happy to see you, I don't see you in my camera. I'm talking about I see you everywhere that I see you growing and prospering in the Most High. Just don't forget, the Most High created all of this, okay? So that we could live and enjoy all the stuff that's going wrong, even if it didn't happen by our hand. It all has to do with something somebody did. If someone's born with a birth defect, that deals with their genealogy. Go back and see in history who was laying with who, and something was incompatible. That's why this one died of this, that one died of that. If it's not that, then it's the chemicals that have been introduced into our environment and the things that we deal with. That's the hand of another man. The Most High's creation was running right. Okay, simple and plain. It's the devices of man that brings all the evil toward us, and you're not going to get rid of that by complaining about it. All right? We need to come together and have communities where we eliminate that. And before we can come together and have communities that eliminate that, we have to first eliminate some things from within us. Hallelujah. This is Elder Moreh Quinah bén-Yehûdäh bén-Yísrä'él, telling the truth. Shabbat shalom, okay. Shabbat shalom.